What's up, everybody? Peter Eichmann's here alongside Stephen Hopper.
What's up, everybody?
We're taking a look at this Making of Halo 4 first look video documentary that gives us an early glimpse at what gameplay is actually going to look like, what the new Master Chief looks like, and kind of hints and teases at new additions to the game, even though they certainly haven't said much yet.
Definitely. It also includes the return of the battle rifle. And right here you see the team at 343 Industries kind of showing off their studio. What they're going to do with Halo 4 is really pay attention to the lore that's been established in the series previously. So you're going to see a lot of focus on the novels and comics that have been written about the series, really making an appearance in this entry to the franchise.
Yeah, but the big thing about Halo 4 is that we're going back to Master Chief's story.
Yes.
We're figuring out what he's all about and what his next steps are in. Well, before I get ahead of myself, let's just stop it right here and look at the first glimpses of Halo 4's new lighting. One of the multiplayer maps right here. Do you know what one this one's called?
Yes, this is Wraparound. And we'll get a better look at this later in the Vidoc.
Yeah, this is the first time we get the developers out of the way so we can actually see the game. Here we get some knee shots of Master Chief, but what it really shows off here is the lighting. You can see just how reflective the surfaces are, and that it's certainly a step forward from Halo Reach.
Absolutely. It's the character model, even from Halo 3, Master Chief looks a lot more detailed than he ever has.
And here's another look at one of the multiplayer maps with, I'm going to go ahead and call that a Metal Gear.
That looks like a Metal Gear to me, Pete. It's very true.
We certainly have a mech in action in one of these multiplayer maps. But again, you can see the sunlight streaming down into the arena and shining off the metal surfaces, which is, I don't know, I find it looks a lot better than where we were, a couple years ago with Reach.
Oh, absolutely. This is hands down already the best looking Halo game.
But yeah, we haven't actually seen anything about Halo 4 in action since E3 when we got the teaser of the ship exploding and Master Chief blowing out the back. I mean, we heard that Chief's armor is changing, which we're going to get a glimpse of here in a second. But this is really the first time we're getting to see what it's all about. The new animations with the mocap here.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit, Pete. Right there you see a guy making a big vault over that bar right there. This indicates that Master Chief's going to be a lot more active this time around.
Yeah, and we see ahead some of these test animations. Right here, my first thought was, I think maybe it's because I've been playing Syndicate so much, QuickTime event.
Yeah.
Jam X to open the doors, which is totally different from what we've seen with Halo before because you're not so interactive with the environment.
Right.
And I mean, we're guessing here, but it's certainly just ahead of this screen in the upper right, you're going to see him kind of leaping and grabbing on and climbing, which is a whole new mechanic. And here we get our first glimpse of the big difference, Halo 3 to Halo 4. I mean, what's the first thing you notice here, Steve?
The lighting looks amazing. It's definitely much better lit than it was in Halo 3. There's a higher poly count. Just that model looks amazing compared to the one in 3.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot more detail, and that's kind of reflected in all the shots we're seeing from Halo 4 so far. Yeah. And I think if we go scrub ahead a little bit, we're going to see an even closer up bit, where you can see just on its midsection there, additional lines of armor that aren't on the other model. And that's just because this engine's able to, show off more polygons, like you're saying.
Definitely.
And a much shinier lighting engine. But let's keep digging through this. I mean, you guys can take a look at the actual Vidoc to hear what the developers are saying, but we're here to look at the details. So let's go back to that first look at the HUD. We're starting here. This is, Halo 4's HUD.
It is. One thing you will notice, there is no health bar underneath the shield bar up top, which is pretty different from previous Halos, where we've actually had to collect health and stuff through stages.
And in the upper right-hand corner, we're kind of wondering what those 3 empty squares are. If it's maybe like your grenade ammo.
Possibly grenade slots, yes.
And you can see right now the return of the old-school battle rifle as well.
That's right. In an earlier shot, it did show Chief holding the battle rifle, but this is the first time that we're actually getting to see it through the HUD.
Yeah, we'll move it ahead just a little bit here. But all these multiplayer shots are really showing off that same lighting thing, which for me, that's the biggest takeaway from these in-game shots. The new look of the engine. Because as much as they're talking about their motivations and how much of the lore is going to be in there, it's really the looks that are popping up. And, our first glimpse of Halo 4, it's pretty cool to see.
And one thing that I noticed, if we go back just to where, right there, if you look in the back right side, you see what looks like a Master Chief character model holding a weapon with an elongated barrel on it. I can assume that's a sniper rifle,
Yeah.
which they haven't, officially announced. But it's kind of a given that there's going to be some.
It'd be weird to have a Halo game without a sniper
It
rifle.
would be, but that's kind of maybe your first look at.
And it's also, I mean, it's all out of focus, so they're just keeping us guessing here. But it looks like maybe a jetpack or something additional on his back. We can't say for
something
sure.
else there.
But what we can do is dig into more that's actually tangible.
Definitely.
Like these looks of Chief and a Warthog, which are, again, showing off the lighting. Look how bright the backgrounds are. It's just this more vibrant look at the world, which is, I mean, for Halo, you can only change it so much until it's not Halo anymore.
Definitely.
So really, one of the biggest steps forward they can take is these graphical improvements.
There's tons of detail, but if you also notice back in the cab of the Warthog, there is a lot more detail paid attention to, the steering wheel and the dashboard accoutrements.
And yeah, I mean, for anyone who's curious, Forza Motorsport 4 actually took this model of the Warthog, and it's available in the Auto Vista mode if you get through X number of challenges, which is kind of a fun thing to do, because there's also fun facts about the Warthog, but totally out of place.
Definitely.
But it's based on this model.
Yeah, and that level of detail almost seems to indicate that, maybe there will be first-person driving in Halo 4.
Which should be a really interesting change.
Definitely.
And here we're getting some stills from the two multiplayer maps we've seen so far. I know 343 claimed there's going to be more story to why Blue and Red are fighting each other.
Yep.
But we have no idea what that is. And who knows how that's actually going to affect gameplay, why you're fighting, because it's really just about, headshots, sticky nades, and the classic elements of Halo multiplayer, which all appear to be at play in these early gameplay shots we're seeing.
Definitely. There's more shots of both Wraparound and Warhouse. And there's the Spartan 4, who is going to be your character in multiplayer. If you notice, he has a pretty distinct look from Master Chief. The sides of his armor look a lot thinner, possibly, to indicate a wider range of motion than Chief. They did mention that the customization features that the series has been known for will make a return with some welcome additions, obviously, but they weren't ready to talk about anything like that quite yet.
So early.
It is.
But you can see here the full skeletons too, which is going to play into hit detection and probably ragdolling, like that guy falling through. Let's go back real quick. I think that's probably the prime example of these skeletons in play. If we look right, where is he? Coming up.
There he is.
Falling through the screen. So the same hilarious explosion physics from other Halos return in this much better looking engine.
Definitely.
So yeah, here you were talking about the new mocap features we're seeing, and a character we don't know about. It could be just a test model. We don't know if this character is going to be in the game or not, but the actual facial wrinkling is kind of an interesting feature. I mean, not that you're going to notice this on Chief, or maybe you will. Maybe his visor is pulling up a few wrinkles along the way.
Could be. I mean, they are definitely talking about humanizing Master Chief this time around, so maybe we'll look under John's helmet this time.
Oh man,
That'd
they're
be
just
crazy.
teasing it right here all over the place. But yeah, this is all about, getting the sound right. All the things 343 has been working on ever since starting the project. With all this discussion of the new armor and everything, there's actually an interesting point just back. We just passed it. You want to point this out, Steve? I didn't even catch it the first time. You saw it right away.
Yeah, there's like a different color for Master Chief's index fingers versus the rest of his green battle armor. It looks like they're black compared to the rest of the green. It's really hard to say, why. Perhaps it has something to do with holding his weapon or pulling the trigger.
I think on his right hand, exactly. It looks like if he had that extra piece of green armor on his finger, he couldn't actually get his finger on the trigger there.
Yeah, that's just another
it's a
one
pretty
of
tight fit.
Yeah, that's a very interesting level of detail that the team at 343 Industries is bringing to Halo 4.
Yeah, it shows off, piece by piece what his armor's all about and how it actually logically makes sense.
Yeah.
So they've had everything under wraps, and I dare say they've done a really good job at keeping all this secret. So, I mean, just seeing these angles, seeing the engine, seeing the armor upgrades, and hearing about the story motivations. They claim early in this trailer that there's a new menace to be fighting, right?
Right.
So we don't know what that means yet.
Yep, it's apparently not Covenant. Halo 3 did a great job of wrapping that up. But yeah, it looks like Chief's going to be fighting a whole brand new threat, and hopefully we'll know more about that very soon.
Yeah, so for everything going on with Halo 4, we're going to be, right at the forefront, playing it as soon as we hopefully can, and keeping all you guys informed. So coming out holiday 2012, keep it on IGN.com for all things Halo.
Forefront. I see what you did there, Pete. That's clever.